I, 38 female, had two work colleagues, Mary and Adam, both in their late 20s, early 30s. Mary started in the company first, and then she got Adam to join. They worked in different departments and Mary was in mine. Mary left the company to pursue another career. When they started at the company, they were already married for a few years. Now, Mary is the kindest and loveliest person I've ever met. She was always polite, helpful, and would cheer anyone up. We missed her dearly, so it came as a shock when we found out she was divorcing Adam because he had cheated on her. I have called her to express how sorry I am that this happened to her, and we've been talking almost daily ever since. I was impressed how well Mary holds herself in such a situation. She doesn't badmouth Adam, and the only thing she mentioned was how her wedding dress and a few family heirlooms went missing when she was moving her stuff from their apartment. She thought they might be misplaced in a different box and would turn up eventually. A few years passed. I now work in the same department as Adam. He's a good work colleague, but can be dismissive and ignorant sometimes. Adam invited me to his wedding with the lady Chelsea he cheated on Mary with. As the entire department was invited, I said yes, making sure Mary was okay with this. I've also told her where the wedding will be. It's not too far from where she lives, and we could go for some drinks after if she wanted to. On the day of Adam's wedding, I have noticed that Chelsea was wearing a similar dress that Mary wore in the photos of her and Adam's wedding years ago. So without thinking, I've snapped a picture and sent it to Mary with the caption saying, "Doesn't this dress look familiar?" Mary saw the message, but she didn't respond. And about an hour later, the police showed up at the venue. I need to add, the police in our country are ruthless, and any theft is considered a criminal matter for the police to deal with. Police have asked Chelsea to take the dress and all the jewelry off. Chelsea refused and started arguing with them, and then Adam joined in. As they were rude to the police, they were taken to the police station. Everyone at the wedding had to leave. I have tried to call Mary, but she wouldn't pick up the phone. As we found out later, Chelsea was wearing Mary's wedding dress and her heirlooms. Mary spotted them on her in a picture I sent to her and called the police. Apparently, she has previously asked Adam if he had them, and he declined, saying he never saw them. So after she saw the picture, she knew he was lying and stole them. Chelsea had to leave the wedding dress and jewelry at the police station and go home wearing her underwear and Adam's jacket after they were bailed out. Yesterday, Adam returned to the office and went utterly mental at me, blaming me for sending a picture to Mary and ruining his wedding. He also called me an idiot for what I did. So, Adam cheated on his wife, stole her wedding dress and heirloom jewelry, and then passed them on to his new fiancée, who may or may not have known. All you did was alert the ex-wife. You didn't call the cops. She did because she knew the background of him stealing from her and lying about it. I think it's pretty clear that Adam's the idiot, and possibly the police for the very brutal way they handled this. You are not the idiot, OP. I can't believe he would give his ex's wedding dress and family jewelry to his new wife to wear at their wedding. I wonder if the new wife was told where he got them. I'd almost guarantee he made up a story about them being his family heirlooms, because I couldn't believe there's a woman in her right mind who would want to marry a man in the same dress he married his ex in. That's some weird crap. Excuse me? What woman in her right mind wants to marry a man who cheats on his partner? New wifey knew everything. No way you could go through wedding plans and not go dress shopping. Because he already had one? It's clear that Adam ruined his own wedding by committing a criminal act. Telling a theft victim you found their stolen goods is always the right thing to do. I'm so glad you did the right thing and didn't just keep quiet so as not to rock the boat. Crime and injustice should be dealt with, not ignored. The fact that she wore the dress and jewelry kills me. Like stealing the dress wasn't enough. Adam sounds like a psycho for doing this. It looks like he wanted to get back at his ex or something by having his new bride wearing things precious to her. So, not the idiot, OP. You are friends with her. The dress seemed familiar, and you didn't know she would take it as far as calling the police. In the end, not so much the dress. Who cares after the marriage ends? But her heirloom jewelry is another story, and she deserves to have it back. My 46 female, twin daughters 21, Tori and Tammy, are both in college, and they're planning to make a 2-week trip to Italy. I am paying for everything as a birthday gift. My best friend Diane has a daughter, 18, Lori, and she's been worried because Lori has no friends. My daughters and Lori used to be closer when they were little, but drew apart when they became teenagers. Diane asked me if my daughters could try to include Lori in their social lives so she isn't lonely all the time. I called Tammy about this, and she felt bad about Lori, so she's been talking more to her since. They invited Lori to their dorm one time and went out with her several times. I thought the next step was to invite Lori to Italy, but first I talked with Diane about it, and she agreed. She said that Lori has been happier since she started seeing my daughters again. Diane said that if my daughters agreed, she would pay for Lori to go to Italy with them. But when I talked to them, they were not happy with the idea. They say that Lori's too childish and would prevent them from having more adult fun in Italy. I think they're being really selfish and mean. Also ungrateful to me, considering I am paying for everything. We've been arguing and I more or less said that Lori's going with them, even if they don't want it. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. Your daughters are grown-up ladies. You shouldn't be making playdates for them anymore. They might enjoy Lori's company for dinner or an outing, but they don't want to spend 2 weeks with her. You're giving a gift with strings attached, which is not a nice thing to do. You are the idiot. Your daughters have already done Lori a kindness by rekindling a friendship, inviting her over, and hanging out. That doesn't mean Lori now gets to be included in every single thing they do. It's normal and healthy to have boundaries in a friendship. Also, a 2-week international vacation is something you do with your absolute best friends in the whole world, or your literal twin in this case, not the girl you feel somewhat bad for because she doesn't have any friends and your mom asked you to be nice. Heck, it's a no-win even if you do end up forcing Lori to go to Italy with Tori and Tammy. Lori isn't stupid. She'll realize she isn't wanted there. All forcing her to go will do is breed more resentment. Tori and Tammy versus Lori for her intruding on what should have been a sister's trip, and Lori versus Tori and Tammy for not wanting her there. This is a very expensive playdate that nobody wants to be a part of. I, 27 female, am married to a man, 34. Together we have 2 children, his daughter, tween, and a son we share, young child. We've been married for 6 years. We have the older girl on a 50-50 schedule. The way it works out, she's at our house typically 3 to 4 nights a week, and then her mother's house the same amount of time. A big area of conflict between my husband and I is that he feels he doesn't get enough time with his child. We fight about it all the time, and I'm not sure how to help him with this. He has been divorced for 10 years, and the custody schedule he has had been in place since long before I came into the picture. Years. Recently, he has been working only part-time, so he's off 100% of the time she's here, even if she's at school. And I took a second job to work the logistics financially because I wanted to help him with this. Our day-to-day schedule looks a lot like I get up with the kids and get them off to school, then I go to work. Since hubby has to be at work at 5 a.m. the days he works, I let him sleep in when he's off. The kids do aftercare after school until I get off from work. I go pick them up around 4:45 p.m. When we get home, hubby will talk to the kids for about 10 to 15 minutes while I walk the dogs. Then my son will watch TV while my stepdaughter and I do her homework. My husband will take this as an opportunity to go to the bathroom. Around 5:30 to 6 p.m., I'll start cooking dinner while my stepdaughter and son play. At this point every day, my husband is still in the bathroom. Around 6:30, I will knock and tell him dinner's on the table. It takes him roughly 15 to 20 minutes to come to eat with us. As soon as dinner's over, he excuses himself back into the bathroom. The kids and I clean the kitchen, then do their baths, etc. Around 8:30, I will knock again for him to come to tuck in our son. Husband and stepdaughter will hang out for about an hour while I do the house chores, and then I'll go walk stepdaughter up to bed, and hubby will take his shower and go to bed himself. I walk the dogs again and then do the same. So the other night, my husband told my stepdaughter she didn't have to go to bed on time, and I pulled him aside and reminded him she had a big test the next day, and past performance has proven she needs adequate rest the night before. After she went to bed, we had another all-out fight over how he feels that it's my fault he never spends time with her. I yelled at him that if he didn't spend hours every night in the bathroom, he would have more time with her while she was awake. Obviously, something else is going on with him, because if he even cared about her, he would make time for her the way I do. He has not spoken to me in 4 days, even though I've tried to say I'm sorry so many times, so I know I really hurt him. I think I may be in the wrong, because I know this is the one thing he's most insecure about, and I threw it into his face in a moment of anger. So, am I the idiot? Not the idiot. You're literally doing absolutely everything for both of the kids. And he eats with you all and hangs out with her for an hour. Does he even spend time with your son? He needs to go to the doctor, since he literally cannot participate in your life. You are a saint to work with this situation for so long without throwing it to his face. Not the idiot. You're working 2 jobs and doing the cooking and the bulk of the childcare, and he's pooping? Unless you're putting laxatives in his food, I fail to see how any of this is your fault. Hate to break it to you, but your husband is either having an affair or has an online gambling or another kind of addiction. There's nothing else he's doing in that bathroom. His getting angry is deflecting from his wrongdoing. The angrier he gets, the less you'll question what he's doing. Whatever he is doing, it's absolutely, definitely, 100% shady. Girl, please leave him. You work 2 jobs. You take care of the kids, the house, and the dogs. Clearly, you also can take care of the bills. And he contributes blame, resentment, stress, arguments, and absolutely nothing else. Why are you with him? If he resents you for not spending time with his kid while working only part-time hours and spending all evening in the bathroom, he is gaslighting you and making his issues your fault. That's disgusting. Stop being an idiot to yourself and demand better for yourself. My girlfriend and I came up with the idea of planning a small trip for 5 days nearby. My girlfriend said that it would be me, her, my best friend, and her best friend. I didn't see anything wrong with it at first. However, when I told my best friend that my girlfriend and I were planning a trip like this, and since we're only booking 2 rooms at the hotel, he won't be able to bring his girlfriend because he'll have to share a room with my girlfriend's best friend. Once I voiced that to him, I realized how wrong this whole thing sounded, but I waited for his response. Once I said who was going to be on the trip, he said a simple no and hung up. That no, I knew he was offended because he wouldn't bring his girlfriend. I told my girlfriend it's a bad idea to expect him to exclude his girlfriend and have him share a room with another girl. My girlfriend got mad and decided to confront my best friend. She called him and said that he's being a terrible friend because he always brings his girlfriend around and he refuses to spend time with just us, his friends. My best friend hung up on my girlfriend by simply saying he'd do so because he didn't want to insult her. Then he instantly called me and started berating me and telling me that my girlfriend was ridiculous for expecting him to exclude his girlfriend and for complaining that he always brings his girlfriend around, and then told me to remind my girlfriend that she's a girlfriend as well. She doesn't get to make the rules on who he can bring around or not. I didn't completely disagree with what he said. He had a point, but I was mad he was insulting my girlfriend, and I tried to apologize and claim it's a simple misunderstanding, but he also shouldn't take it too far. Instead, he called me an idiot for not seeing anything wrong with my girlfriend's plans in the first place, and he claimed I'm also an idiot for telling him he's taking it too far, since my girlfriend's the one who started it and is unapologetic about it. While I see his point, and I get why he's mad, his reaction also got me mad because I doubt my girlfriend had any ill intentions. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. You and your girlfriend don't get to make plans for other people and just expect them to fall in line. Why are there only 2 hotel rooms? Why can't both your best friend and her best friend bring their partners? I suspect your girlfriend is trying to set up your best friend with hers. My God, they don't even consider the guys in one room and the girls in another? She's obviously trying to make a setup. She's making it a couples trip, despite the fact that OP's best friend has a girlfriend. Gross disrespect of boundaries. OP, would you have liked it if the tables were turned? Your friend invites you on a trip. but tells you that your girlfriend can't go and you'll be rooming with another girl. Nope, I bet that wouldn't fly with you or your girlfriend. You are the idiot for not seeing anything wrong with your girlfriend's plans. I thought her best friend was another male until you mentioned another girl. That's too much to expect your best friend to sleep in the same room with another woman while in a relationship. Your girlfriend had ill intention to match him up with her best friend. She's attending the trip with you as a girlfriend, and your best friend deserves to bring his girlfriend around too. I married my husband after dating for a short time. He never introduced me to his family, even though he's close to them and visits them multiple times a year. Whenever I asked him why, he would always tell me it wasn't the right time yet, and he would take me to see them one day. I met his sister when she showed up on our doorstep out of the blue. She had no idea I existed, and according to her, neither did the rest of his family. I like his sister a lot, and it was her idea for me to meet my in-laws, since my husband didn't seem to want to introduce me to them anytime soon. She told me some of their family would be in the city, including their parents, and she would introduce me to them if I wanted to meet them. My husband isn't home now, so I decided to go. We went to dinner and it was awkward, but they were very nice. They were upset my husband hadn't told them he was married, and because we hadn't invited them to the wedding, but they said they didn't blame me for it. After, I received a call from my husband, who was furious I had gone to dinner with his family without telling him first. Am I the idiot? You married someone who wouldn't introduce you to his family or even tell them about you. What were you thinking, OP? I can't even judge this because I cannot wrap my head around that decision enough to form an opinion on this particular conflict. What? Your husband hadn't even told them you were married? Going to be honest, you have way more problems than just meeting his parents without you. Going with not the idiot, just because this whole situation is messed up. Red flags abound. You need to do some digging to figure out why your husband chose to pretend you didn't exist when he spent time with his family. This was my thought as well. There are way bigger problems in this relationship than OP going to dinner with her husband's parents without his knowledge. Hindsight is, of course, 20/20, but why would you marry someone whose family you haven't met unless there's actually no contact with said family? OP states the husband is close to his family and visits them regularly. Was your husband out of town with his other wife that his family doesn't know about either? Not going to lie, I want an update on this one with more info, like why and when she's getting a divorce. OP, you're not the idiot, but you really shouldn't have married this dude. This is odd on so many levels. I would legitimately be concerned about a second family, etc., especially with the traveling for work, etc. I'm hoping this post opens your eyes before you get trapped in this thing too long.